Welcome back to Tojo Fitness Flexi-Friday. Today is a full body stretch. Get your comfies on, grab your yoga mat, and I'll see you in a tick. Hey, well done for showing up today. And it's going to be my privilege and my pleasure to guide you through a full body stretch. So we're going to start in a standing position. Now make sure you got your comfies on. We're going to start in a standing position first of all with the feet hip width apart. So our feet, our hips and our shoulders are all in line. We're going to stand up nice and tall, which means we're going to pop the shoulders back, lengthen the spine at the back, and I want you to feel like you've got a hanger down the back of your neck and you're being hung up in your wardrobe. So you're actually kind of extending the spine upwards, bringing the shoulders back. We're going to interlace the fingers behind the back and bring those shoulders back. The chest will just extend outwards, and we're going to very slowly look over the left shoulder, opening up the right hand side of that neck, and we're going to take some deep breaths. And when I mean deep breaths, we're expanding the whole rib cage to take on oxygen and deflating the tummy to breathe out. And one more breath. Well done. Very slowly looking back to center and keeping the fingers interlaced behind the back. We're now going to slowly look over the right shoulder. Again, creating space between that left shoulder and the left ear. Giving the neck a little bit of space. If you do a lot of computer work, a lot of phone work, perhaps you're hunched forward, it's the neck that does take a little bit of a bashing, so we're just going to give it a bit of TLC. 2 more deep breaths. And the last one. Very slowly returning to center, just keeping the shoulders back for me, interlacing still the hands behind the back. We're going to now place our chin to our chest, still in that position of being hung up in your wardrobe, but this will open out the nape of the neck right at the back and actually feel pretty awesome. Keep breathing, my friends. See, if you're feeling tight in the neck, this is where you're going to feel it. And one more breath, and we'll come back to center. Well done. Very slowly release the hands from behind the back to the side, looking forward. Shake out those hands just a little bit. And we're going to come down now onto the shoulders. We're going to place the right hand out in front, bring across the body. Left hand comes to the shoulder and just encourages that arm towards the left hand side. You'll then feel this lovely stretch in the delt area here. Again, we're going to take 3 deep breaths. And right at the beginning of almost this practice of flexibility, we're going to choose to be grateful for every muscle group that works. Pop a smile on our face. And we'll slowly release that arm down to the side and do the same on the left hand side. So left arm reaches to the front. We'll take the right hand to the elbow, bring it across the body. Now making sure that your posture stays neutral. And when I mean stays neutral, it means we have that nice extension in the spine. we still feel like we're being hung up in our wardrobe, and that just brings the pelvis in line all the way down the body, bringing it into equilibrium, the way the body likes. Couple more deep breaths. And one more. Good. Now making sure that we're dropping the shoulders away from the ears. A lot of the time our shoulders are keeping our ears company, purely because we live at the moment a very stressful life, perhaps our life through the day, perhaps we're homeschooling if you are in lockdown. So what happens is that the ears do like to have a bit of a meeting with the shoulders, but we're just going to drop the shoulders down actively, bring them away from the ears here. So we're going to place the arms out in front, just like you're going to hug a massive tree. So hands out in front. I'll come to the side here so you can actually see my back. I'm creating a nice bend in the back here, and that's going to feel amazing on our lat muscles down the side. Taking some deep breaths. And one more. Well done. Dropping the hands back to the sides, shaking them out again. We'll place the left hand onto the hip. Right hand stretches towards the ceiling like you're trying to touch the ceiling. And we're going to take a slight bend over to the left. That's going to open out the right side of the body here. Trying to stay in that neutral posture, that neutral position. We're not going to go like bend right over double, but just enough to feel the stretch just in the side obliques here, and take some deep breaths. And one more. Good, well done. Very slowly bringing that arm down by the side. We're going to place the right hand onto the right hip. Left hand then stretches towards the ceiling, and we'll take a slight bend, a slight journey over to the right hand side, opening up again those left obliques here. Again, if you spend a lot of time sitting down, this area here, it starts to kind of like, it's like an accordion, you know, when you place it together, everything gets stacked and squashed. So we're just giving it a bit of TLC, opening up at the side. 2 more breaths. Still dropping the shoulders away from the ears, just in case they've crept back up. 1 more. Oh, that feels good already. So we're going to slowly release the arms down by the side, shake them out a little bit, get the blood running back again. We are now going to just warm up the torso just slightly. The torso is something that can carry a lot of tension. So we'll place the arms just out by the side here. I've got my elbows at the right hand. I'm keeping my hips facing forward, and I'm just allowing the torso to twist. I'm not going out beyond the usual or natural range of motion. But we're just giving the spine a little bit of a twist going on here as well. Deep breathing. And a couple more. And last one. Yeah, that's good, well done. Returning back to center. We are now going to just give the hips a little bit of a stretch. We're going to place our hands onto the hips, making sure still we're in that neutral posture. You've still got that hanger down the back of your shirt, hanging you up in your wardrobe. Hands onto the hips. We'll place the feet now shoulder width apart. And just like you did when you was at school, when you used to try to keep a hula hoop up, we're going to take a full circle of the hips. Now, sometimes we'll get to that big circle at the back and then we'll come halfway. But what I want to do is come all the way out and all the way back. So big circular movements. Perhaps you might feel a little bit of the creaking of the hips. But this is really good, just to kind of like loosen them up a bit really. And we'll change direction. Big circular movements. Keeping the shoulders still away from the ears. It's a little bit of fun, this one as well. We don't want to take our flexibility and stretching time too seriously. We want it to be light, we want it to be fun, we want it to be something that we actually look forward to. And one more twist. Superb, well done. Now we're going to come down now to actually stretching out the legs in a standing position. We all like our standing positions, but this is going to be requiring a little bit of balance. So if you do have like a side that you're able to lean up against, that's absolutely fine. I don't want you wobbling all over the place and then you cause an injury to yourself. So first of all, we're going to take the right knee and we're going to hold it up in towards the middle of the body, keeping those shoulders back and down. Give the ankle a little bit of a circular rotation as well. So for me, because I've just done leg day, my bottom is really feeling this stretch. It could be in your hips that you feel this stretch. That's it. Change the circular movement of the ankle. Try and keep your balance as much as you can. Focus on something that doesn't move. That's it. And return the leg back to the floor. We'll do exactly the same on the left hand side. Some people find that their balance is better on one side than it is on the other. Again, we're just going to circulate the ankle here. You might find that you're a bit clicky there. That's totally normal, totally okay. If you want to lean up against the wall so you get a good stretch on that leg, that's absolutely fine. And change the movement again of the ankle. Perhaps you want to find a spot on the wall that doesn't move and you just kind of zone into it. That's it. Good. Returning the leg again back to centre. Now we're going to come into our quad stretches. Quad is the muscles, quad obviously meaning four, the four muscles at the front of the leg. We are going to grab hold of that foot by the top of the actual foot itself with the hand, and we're going to bring the knees together, keeping the shoulders down, and just if you could just like push your hips towards me, and what that's going to do is just increase the stretch down on the quad there. Take some deep breaths. Again, focus on something on the wall that doesn't move. Two more breaths. If you're wobbling on all over the place, just hold on to the wall, hold on to the sides, not a problem. One more. Now what we're going to do with that same leg, we're now going to send it behind us into a hip flexor stretch. So that same leg, once you've done the quad stretch, I'm going to place it behind, come down to the floor. I've just got it hovering. Hip flexors are the little muscles just here. They're attaching the hips down to the legs. They can get a little bit tight if you are in a sedentary position throughout the day. So a little bit of a hover here. Again, if you feel that you want to put your hands to the floor just to stabilise yourself, that's not a problem at all. Good, well done. And very slowly we're going to return back up to a standing position. Exactly the same on the left hand side. So we'll grab the foot with the hand, bring the knees together. Again, focus on something on the wall that doesn't move. Just tilt the hips towards me a little bit. That will increase the stretch along the quad. And breathe. Shoulders away from the ears. Now we're not going to touch the floor with our foot. We're going to send it right behind us, down into that hip flexor stretch, down to the floor, just hovering the knee. Hip flexor stretches are fundamental if you have lower back pain. So that will release the muscles which get tight around that lower back. Just relax the shoulders down. One more breath. And very slowly, we will return back to a standing position. Now what we're going to do is we're going to now stretch out the IT bands. IT bands run down the sides of the leg. You probably won't even know they're there until we come to stretch them. And then you'll know if you are tight. So we're going to stand up nice and tall. I'm going to place my right foot alongside my left foot, so I'm crossing the leg over. I'm going to stand up nice and tall. I'm going to keep the legs straight, hands to the top of the thighs, and I'm very, very slowly going to make my way down towards my toes. If you can't touch your toes, don't worry. I just want you to feel the stretch, and you'll feel that on the left hand side, down the side of the leg. Two more breaths. And one more. Well done, very, very slowly. Returning back to an upright standing position. We'll do exactly the same on the other side. So my left foot crosses over my right, standing up nice and tall, hands to the top of the thighs, and I'm just making my way down the leg, nothing too fast. If you're going to go fast in flexibility, you're going to end up injuring yourself. So you're going to feel the stretch on that right hand side of the IT band. Come down just as far as you can. Don't go beyond your natural range of movement in this one. And hold once you feel the stretch. Perhaps you're a little bit wobbly on the feet. Again, just pick a place on the carpet that isn't going to move, and keep your focus on that. One more breath for me. You're doing really well. And very slowly unfolding, returning to a standing position. We're now going to stretch out the hamstrings from a standing position as well. So I'm going to place my legs as far apart as they will go without causing injury to myself or getting stuck and needing someone to come and rescue me. So I'm quite comfortable here. I'm going to keep my back straight. That's going to be rule 101 here. Rule 102 is I keep my legs straight. So I'm going to forward fold down to the floor. It's keeping the back straight as much as you can. Hands out to receive the floor and down. And you'll find the stretch will appear in the top of the back of your legs, known as the hamstrings. We're going to hang here for about 20 seconds, so I'll see you back in a standing position in that time. Just remember to breathe. If you want to increase the stretch, you can bring the hands more towards underneath your legs. If you want to decrease the stretch, just walk the hands out further out in front of you. Entirely your choice, your party. You might notice on the floor that that's a little bit of hoovering needs doing, like I am. But you know, it's all good. 2 more deep breaths. Good, well done. Now we're going to unfold. We're going to keep the legs though where they are, because what we're going to do, we're going to send our right knee over our right toe, and I'm going to keep this left leg straight. So this is going to be an inner thigh stretch. So very slowly I'm going to lower myself down, My right knee is not going to go beyond my right toe, and I'm just going to keep this left leg straight here. Now come down just as low as you can, as low as you feel comfortable, but you'll feel the stretch, just a little bit of a burn, totally normal, just on the inside of the leg here. Look back towards that left foot. Just going to keep you here for 2 more breaths. And 1 more. Well done. Very slowly we're going to come to the other side. So we're just kind of like smoothly making our way over to the left. Left knee goes over left toe, doesn't go beyond the left toe. Going to keep that right leg nice and straight. I'm feeling the burn on the inner thigh just here, just looking back towards my right foot. 2 more breaths. Feels good to really breathe out loads. That's it, good, well done. Very, very slowly we're going to come back to centre and we're going to heel toe inwards. We do this because we like our knees. Excellent, well done. Now we are going to now come onto the floor for some floor stretches on our bottom. Feel free to go and get your mat if you haven't got one already, and I'll meet you on the floor. Welcome to the floor. So we're going to start in a cross-legged position. Now, if this is something which is quite uncomfortable for you because your hips are a little bit tight, so your knees are rather here than here, I'm not on the floor completely, but I'm training my hips to keep opening out. Feel free to pop like a block underneath your bottom or a cushion just to elevate you, just to encourage those hips to actually open out, be a bit more comfortable for you. So we're going to place the hands onto the knees. First of all, we're going to lengthen the spine from the bottom. So we normally sit in a position like this where we're quite hunched over. So we're just going to lengthen the spine, feel the length, and sit up nice and tall, actively bringing the shoulders away from the ears. If there's anything to take away from today, we bring the shoulders away from the ears. So we're going to sit up nice and tall. Deep breaths. This in itself is a stretch. And 1 more deep breath for me. Beautiful work, well done. We're going to send the left leg out long in front of us. The right leg is going to come into the side here. You know where we're going to go with this. We're going to come into a hamstring stretch. Now it may be that one of your goals for 2021 is that you want to be able to actually reach your foot. I remember when I was in a sedentary job, I couldn't reach my foot on a hamstring stretch. But you just keep on going and going and going and going until such time as those hamstrings start to loosen, work with you, do what you want them to do. So we're going to come down into a hamstring stretch. You go down as low as what you can, whether that's your knee, whether that's your shin, your ankle, or your foot. And we're going to hold there for about 4 to 5 deep breaths. Bring the shoulders away from the ears. Now after the 3rd breath, we're actually going to come back up to seated. We're going to spend breath 4 and 5 back down in hamstring, but we're going to come back and go down again. So this is what's called a developmental stretch. It means that you initially stretch the muscle, get it used to being in the stretch, then you give it a break and then you come back to it, and usually you're able to come down just a little bit further than what you did before. So breath 4 and 5. Shoulders down, last one. Well done. Very slowly we're going to release back from that hamstring stretch on the left, and we're going to swap the legs over to the right. So right leg is out long, left leg comes in at this triangle. The foot is alongside the thigh, and again I'm going to come down in for my hamstring stretch. Ooh, this one's a little tight. Did my leg day yesterday, so this is a welcome stretch. Again, 3 breaths here. Actively dropping the shoulders. We'll come back into an upright position and go down again for breath 4 and 5. One more. Excellent, well done. Now we're going to bring both legs in and we're going to spin round onto our back now. This is like the best part of the stretch, you see. If you're tired, stretches on the floor are like the best position ever. So we're going to send the legs out long. I'm going to lay with my back on the floor and I'm just going to have like enough gap underneath my spine where I can actually put my hand under. So there's just a little bit of gap here. Means you're in a nice neutral posture. And we're going to take the right knee up to the chest, hold with the left hand. So right knee up to the chest, hold with the left hand, right hand outstretched like a half crucifix to the side, and we're going to bring that left knee across the body, trying to keep the left foot pointing to the ceiling. Now come over as far as you can. So you've got quite a multi-stretch going on right now. I feel a stretch in my bottom just here, glute medius. I also have a nice stretch in the chest area that are opening out the pecs. And take some deep breaths. Relax those shoulders down. Two more breaths. And last one. Well done. Very slowly, we're going to return that leg back to its original position. Left knee comes into the chest, left arm out to the side, right knee grabs that left knee, and we're going to pull across the body again, just making sure that that right leg, just trying to keep it in position as possible. If you can't get to the floor, not a problem, but just come as far across as you can. Again, I've got that lovely stretch opening out the chest area here as well. And we'll actively drop the shoulders away from the ears and take 4 deep breaths. Choosing to be grateful at this time for the breath in our lungs, for the roof over our heads, and one more. That's it, good, well done. We're going to return that leg back to its usual position. We've got one more stretch to go, and then you can go and grab a nice hot bath. So we're going to be on all fours and we're going to come into a 4-point kneeling position because we are going to come into everyone's favourite stretch, which is the Pigeon Stretch. So in a 4-point kneeling position, we're going to put the hands under the shoulders, knees will go directly under the hips. We're going to curl the toes under, send the sit bones up to the ceiling. We'll bring that right knee into the chest. We'll lay the leg across the body, so we're going to try and bring that knee into a right angle and send that left leg down, out behind us, and down we come. Now this is what's called a screaming pigeon, and I can see you through my hair, and you will find that this will stretch out your glutes. Now it might be at this position you can't hear me because you're that's okay. Hold and breathe, my friend. Don't tap out yet. Hold and breathe, you're almost done. Again, this is always, all stretches are work in progress. They're all a work in progress. Just keep holding, 2 more breaths. And 1 more. Well done, very slowly coming up onto the hands, coming back into that 4-point kneeling position. So we can have the knees underneath the hips, the hands directly underneath the shoulders. We'll curl the toes under again, send the sit bones to the ceiling, left knee now to the chest, lay across the body, send that right leg out. Now you can either stay in this kind of position here, or you can come down to the elbows into what's called a screaming pigeon. Your choice, your party, but you get more of a stretch down on the elbows. That really gets into the glute medius in there. Three more breaths. Well done, my friends. Very, very slowly we're going to come back up onto our hands, bring the knees back to centre. Take a real big deep breath, pop a smile on your face, because you have just completed this full body stretch, which will make you feel amazing for the rest of your day, or if this is the evening, this will give you an incredible night's sleep. It's been awesome having you with us on Flexi Friday. You take care of yourself.